Hey guys, what is up? It's Maddie and welcome back to the channel. I'm recording. How you guys doing today? For today's video, or this week's video, we're going to be talking about I identify as, which the title is, with some dots. So basically, I'm just gonna kind of do, I guess, like, sorry I got distracted. I'm also freshly dyed. Love it. Basically, I'm gonna just do a quick overview of like how I identify, I guess, and maybe do a short little talk about with that. Cool. So I identify as like genderqueer, gender neutral. So I prefer they and them pronouns. Typically, however, I'm okay with using he or him pronouns as well. Typically, I say I'm male just because it's easier and I'm more masculine and presenting most of the time. So it's just easier to like use he and him pronouns, even though I do prefer they and them, which I will get to in a second. I also identify as gay. I can respect a woman's beauty, but I am not attracted to a woman, you know? That being said, like, I would date a trans guy. I mean, your boy identifies as a bottom as well, but we'll make it something work. Because sex just isn't that big to me. I also, speaking of which, I also identify on the ace spectrum. I don't really like saying I'm any one thing on the spectrum, because I'm like, if I had to say, I'm kind of in between like a line of between gray and demisexual, just because like typically I won't experience romantic or sexual feelings unless I have a connection with someone. But that being said, I also may experience it just randomly, so that's why I kind of like to just say I'm in the middle, you know? I don't think I've ever actually gone in detail about how I identify. Normally it's just like, I'm gay, and I don't really ever talk about gender just because it's just a weird topic, but I don't really like being referred to as male, typically. I would much prefer if someone would use gender neutral pronouns. That being said though, with like gender neutral stuff, this is kind of what more this is a topic is, because you guys know I'm gay, and you guys also vaguely knew I was on the ace spectrum, at least if you guys are following me on my social medias, you did. But that being said, like, I don't really talk about gender that much because it's just a weird topic, and most people don't respect people who use gender neutral pronouns or think it's a thing. And so it's just kind of like, I don't like getting into it because it's just a huge can of worms I don't want to deal with. Also, I know my family's like doesn't understand it or anything, and so it's just kind of a very weird topic to get into, you know? But that being said, part of the reason I guess I identify with gender neutral, I prefer like gender queer, is just because I've always growing up, I've always had people ask me like, are you a boy or a girl? And more so, I feel like now I definitely look more masculine. However, I still occasionally am mistaken for a woman, which I don't really care because I just, like, gender I just feel is so fluid. I feel sexuality is also fair. I feel like life is fluid. That being said, I do identify as gay, and I do think where every sexuality and gender can be fluid, it doesn't necessarily mean it always is. But basically, I prefer gender neutral pronouns just because it makes me happy. Also, I feel more comfortable just because, like, I don't always necessarily feel masculine or always feminine, and I don't like using male or female with that because I don't typically identify with male or female, but I prefer, like, I might want to dress more masculine today, or I might want to dress more feminine today. That being said, I do have more feminine feet. Like, I have, like, very feminine shoulders, like the broad, but they also have, like, a very smooth cut, which masculine shoulders do not. But I have very feminine attributes. Like, I just gesture a lot with my hands, which typically is like a feminine feature, I guess. And yeah, so I don't know. I just, like, there's been times where I'm like, I feel like a girl today, or I feel like a guy today, but I'm like, well, I'm not transgender. Like, I know I'm not. I do feel personally that gender neutral stuff, like gender queer stuff, is, I guess, maybe kind of on like the transgender spectrum, but not entirely. They're like very different. I know some people see them as like the same category, which I don't like it. Like, yes, they're both like gender related with part of being LGBT+, but they're still different. But I've identified as gender queer for a while, since I was in high school. It's just, again, not something I'm very open about, just because I'm not very comfortable being open about it, because it's just a very weird topic. And I do typically introduce myself with male pronouns, even if I don't prefer male pronouns. But yeah, so I mean, and then with more sexuality stuff, I guess, because that basically covers it with the gender stuff. And if you guys have questions, please leave them down in the comments below. Speaking of which, subscribe if you haven't, hit that bell notification if you haven't already, as well, because then you get notified whenever I post new content. Also, like this video, and I guess comment, let me know if you guys have questions about like how I identify with my gender or anything, please let me know. We'll probably do a Q&A on the channel, I think for maybe 200 or 250 subs, whenever we eventually get there. Oof. Your boy is getting really hot, and I'm not exactly sure why. It's not that hot in here. Also, I don't know about other people. This is like, I guess, kind of an identity thing because I'm white. I don't like being white. Like, I enjoy like when I look pale, like how pale I look right now, even though my skin's pasty. What kind of pasty? I just don't like it. I don't know. Being a white person kind of sucks. One, because you get sunburned easily, and two, we don't have the greatest track record. But yeah, I don't know, with being on the ace spectrum, I just say that because I don't really like identifying with one specific thing on there, because like I mentioned before, I feel like I'm somewhere in between gray and demisexual, but I don't fully connect to either of those. Is why I'm like, I like saying I'm ace, I like saying I'm on the ace spectrum. I don't know if it has to do with stuff that happened to me when I was younger, which I'm thinking we'll do a vlog on that in the next couple weeks, just so we can get to know each other a little better. Or if it's literally just who I am. I do feel like with sexuality, certain things, like I think in general sexuality is something you're born with. However, there are certain things, I feel like occasionally with like the A spectrum, or even like the Aro spectrum, like I feel like those are things that like if you have like a really abusive relationship, it can affect you to the point that you do end up on the Aro spectrum. Same thing with like if stuff happened to you, you may end up on the ace spectrum. That being said, it's not like I'm saying that's the only way to be any of those things. I'm just saying for my own personal trauma, I feel like part of what happened to me is part of the reason why I'm on the ace spectrum. But I do take a lot of pride in being genderqueer, even though I'm not that open about it, and being ace, and being gay. I identify as three things basically: gay, ace, and genderqueer. Which, you know, it's a thing. I know older people are gonna be like, oh my god, he's a millennial who just, you know, wants to just have all these like micro things and micro labels, and I'm like, I really hate people who get mad at people who label themselves, honestly. Because I mean, this video is, I guess, on how I label myself, but like it makes me feel comfortable, and I just don't get people who get all butthurt about it. Like if it makes them comfortable, why the hell do you care, you know? I think that's really all I have to say on the matter, guys. I know this is gonna be like a shorter video than normal, since normally my vlogs, my weekly vlog is like anywhere from like 12 to like, I think 20-ish minutes. So I hope you guys don't mind that much. Also, as the light, I'm using natural light for once in one of my vlogs, which I do occasionally, but like the sun is like coming up after, because it's been like rainy as like really rainy. And if you guys haven't noticed, it's making me whiter, and I just think that's hysterical. But honestly, it makes me look really good, especially because my hair is freshly dyed. It's making me pop. Anyways, guys, if you did enjoy this video, please make sure to leave a like on it. I really appreciate it. Subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell notification, because then you get notified whenever I post a new video. And comment down below and let me know like how you guys identify, like your sexuality, your gender. I would really like to know. Like, basically, like, it would be interesting to see like how my viewership identifies. And yeah, I will see you guys next week. Bye, guys.